The man who leaked the information shared documents with a small circle of online friends on the Discord chat platform, which is popular with gamers. In that group, a user said, Mr Teixeira's handles included Jack the Dripper. Heavily armed FBI agents led Mr Teixeira out of a family home in Dighton, Massachusetts. Wearing red gym shorts and a t-shirt, the young man was led into a waiting car. He could make an initial court appearance on Friday in a case that has transfixed much of Washington for the past week. Attorney-General Merrick Garland said Mr Teixeira was arrested, without incident, on allegations of alleged unauthorized removal, retention and transmission of classified national defense information. Mr. Garland did not take questions. Mr. Teixeira served in a junior position, but he had access to an internal Defense Department computer network for top-secret information, called the Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communications System, said a U.S. official familiar with the matter. That access would have allowed him the ability to read and potentially to print documents classified at the same level as many of the leaked files. The arrest raised questions about why adequate safeguards had not been put in place after earlier leaks and why a young man would risk his freedom to share intelligence about the war in Ukraine with a group of friends he knew from a video game social media site. A motive in the case for now remains elusive. But, according to people who knew him online, Mr. Teixeira was no whistleblower. Unlike previous huge leaks of information, from the Pentagon Papers to WikiLeaks to Edward Snowden's disclosures, outrage about wrongdoing or government policies does not appear to have been a factor. A friend of Mr. Teixeira described his motives to the Post as wanting to share, and show off, the secrets he knew to a small circle of online friends who bonded over video games. If convicted, Mr. Teixeira could end up serving years in prison. Mr. Teixeira told members of the online group Thug Shaker Central that he worked as a technology support staffer for the Massachusetts Air National Guard and at a base on Cape Cod, one member of the Discord server told the Post. Members of the group had come together initially because of their shared interest in guns and military gear, the member told the Post. The fast-moving investigation kicked off in early April when Pentagon officials first became aware that documents about an extraordinary range of subjects exposed how the U.S. spies on friends and foes alike. The leak of dozens of pages upset senior Ukrainian officials, who had sought to keep details of their military's vulnerabilities hidden as Russia's war with Ukraine grinds on in its second year. The Post also reviewed approximately 300 photos of classified documents, most of which have not been made public. While some officials, including President Joe Biden, have downplayed the damage from the leak, it will take months to learn whether U.S. intelligence loses access to important methods of collection because of the disclosures. Though not as massive as some previous leaks of highly classified material, the disclosure was nonetheless extraordinary because of the file's recency. Some documents were just days old when posted earlier this year on Discord. The files gained wide notice when they began appearing on the social media platforms Telegram and Twitter last week. That meant the public, including Russia's war planners, had access to sensitive intelligence assessments on Ukraine's battlefield readiness prepared in late February and early March for top Pentagon officials such as General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The leaks have produced remarkable insights into U.S. intelligence activities worldwide, but their revelations about the war in Ukraine have proved particularly illuminating. Some material describes weaknesses in Ukraine's air defenses and outlines its lack of ammunition while exposing considerable deficiencies within the Russian military, too. Many of the assessments date to February and March. Brigadier General Patrick Ryder, a Pentagon spokesman, declined to comment on Mr. Teixeira's emergence as the principal suspect in the leak investigation, referring questions to the Justice Department. Speaking to reporters at the Pentagon, he said the department was working around the clock to assess the impact of the leaks and was taking steps to tighten access to classified information, including by updating distribution lists and reviewing which personnel required what kind of sensitive material. He stressed that stringent rules were already in place, suggesting that no matter how tight the rules were on paper, they could be flouted by an individual determined to divulge intelligence. The Discord leaks are damaging for what they reveal about the methods the United States uses to gather foreign intelligence, not just on Russia's military and spy agencies but also on partners like Ukraine and Israel, as well as key allies in Asia, such as South Korea. The documents indicate where information and insights were gleaned by signals intelligence, essentially wiretapping or eavesdropping on calls or hacking into emails. In one instance, the files reveal the use of an advanced satellite system that allows for high-resolution imaging of objects on the ground, one of the more closely guarded U.S. intelligence capabilities, and which could now be more susceptible to Russian jamming. In some cases, markings indicate that information was obtained at least in part by human means, perhaps spies. Much of the information is tactical, a snapshot in time, and so its value ages off or diminishes over time, former intelligence officials noted. But that does not mean there is no damage to sources and methods, especially in the near term, they said. And meanwhile, Russia can take advantage of what it learns to adjust its own war plans, they said.